Plaintiff Trelawney Scothern is suing her ex-boyfriend for personal property. Trelawney accuses the defendant of holding her hostage for several days, but the police refuse to believe her story.
Cue the defendant.
Defendant David Ivey is countersuing for defamation of character and emotional distress because he claims the plaintiff's allegations are completely made up and he only tried to help the plaintiff.
Trelawney Scothern is suing her ex-boyfriend for personal property. David Ivey is countersuing his ex-girlfriend for defamation of character and emotional distress. Trelawney, tell me why you're suing your ex-boyfriend.
In 2003, me and David met. We had a one-night stand relationship. December of '08, we went into each other, said hi in the county courthouse. He was going through a divorce as well as I was. He contacted me on MySpace and was looking for a babysitter because he has 5 children. And I was looking for a job, so I went ahead and went down to go see him on April 19th. During that time, I walked into the house, and as soon as I walked in, he threatened me and said that I could not leave. He knew that from my past that...
That's a lie. I never threatened anybody. I've never threatened anybody in my life.
He knew from my past that I've gone through a lot of mistreatment as being sexually abused and raped.
By whom?
By family members as well as other outside people. During this time...
Were any of those people who molested you brought to court?
Some were.
Convicted?
Yes.
Okay. So from the one-night stand you had, you haven't seen each other for years?
Correct.
So he calls you up. That's a lie?
That's a lie.
Why?
Because we've had a sexual relationship on and off for the last 6 years. Every time we've met, it's been a sexual relationship, and it was 100% consensual. She'd call me, I'd go over to her house, we'd fool around.
All right, so what's going on here? What, you go there.
I go there. He told me that I could not leave, started threatening me, and said that if my fiance was to come over or get involved, he'd come after him and kill him too.
Who's your fiance?
That's a lie.
Thomas Kaler.
How are you, Thomas? Stand up.
I'm fine. Glad
Thomas,
to see you,
how
Judge.
long have you known Trelawney?
For a year.
Okay. Did you know that she was going to babysit for the defendant?
Yes.
Okay, and no problem with that?
No.
Even though she had had a relationship, even if it was a one-night stand now and then?
Not a problem at all.
Okay. All right. So what happens? Thank you very much.
Where he continues to rape me in front of his 3 youngest children.
That's a lie.
The youngest ones are 24 months, which are the twins, and then there's the 7-year-old that's the same. He's a month younger than my oldest. On May 2nd...
No. Explain to me what happens when you walk in the door. He says you're not leaving.
He tells me in a stern voice that I can't leave, and that if I was to leave, that he would come after me.
Did you tell him to buzz off and turn around and leave?
I suffer from post-traumatic stress disorder because of my past. I've gone through multiple domestic violence situations.
All right, so you have your own children?
Not in my custody. They've been adopted.
Why?
My husband refused to do what the state ordered, and I was LDS, and I never left him, and he was abusive towards me, and he wouldn't quit drinking, so they ended up adopting.
You chose your husband over your children?
Yes.
Do you have any children now?
No, not in my custody,
None.
no.
You go to his house to babysit?
Yeah.
He closes the door?
Yeah.
Tell me, talk to me.
He closes the door, and within 5 minutes, he says, "You're not leaving. You're not going home."
She's actually lying, Your Honor. I have in front of me one of her emails to me from MySpace.
Why is she saying this?
I have no idea.
Why did you call her to babysit?
Actually,
Or
that
email?
was not the intents and purposes. There was never any discussion about her babysitting
Show me
any
some
of my
emails.
children.
How did you two hook up?
We've known each other since 2002, when I was married to my ex-wife and she was married to her ex-husband. We all became good friends. We had barbecues together. Our kids played together.
Is that right? Is that right, Trelawney?
We were friends, yes, in 2003.
And I left my ex-wife April 1st, 2003. Her and her husband helped me pack my house so that me and my son could leave.
Is that true?
That's correct.
All right, so there's a relationship here. Who are you?
This is my daughter.
I'm his stepdaughter.
How are you?
I'm good.
Why are you here?
I'm here because when Trelawney was staying with us, my mom was in the hospital, and she watched the kids so we could spend time with my mom before she passed away.
How old are you?
I'm 21.
When did your
I
mom
was there
die?
for 3 weeks, April 24th.
Okay, and this is April 19th, so 5 days before.
It was the day before my mom went in the hospital. She showed up on the front porch with 3 backpacks.
She did. Trelawney?
Yes. We had no idea she was coming.
Just out of the blue, Trelawney shows up. All right, Trelawney, do you have any emails from David saying, come on over, I need a babysitter?
No, I do not have those emails from MySpace.
All right, so you say I am bored. She says, I know that. We need to get some. I think if you want to do something, start when we go to bed. There's no date on this.
No, ma'am. That was April 23rd, I'm thinking. And
Let me see, what else do you have?
I have photographs of her hanging out with us, just chilling out, relaxing. That's one of my twin daughters, Anastasia, that she's holding.
Show this to Trelawney.
She's the one that gave me her email address and said, get a hold of me.
Yeah, that's me.
Do you know when that was taken, Trelawney?
It was taken in April, it looks like.
Trelawney, I want to talk to you. Going into my chambers, come on. Let me just say this, Trelawney. I've dealt with many survivors, women who have gone through all kinds of things. I'm concerned for you. Are you okay?
I'm scared
Why are you scared?
because I'm scared of David. He's threatened me, he's threatened my fiance.
Have you called the police?
I've called the police. They don't believe my story.
Why?
I don't know.
You said that you have post-traumatic stress syndrome.
Yes.
And that you shut down. Are you seeing somebody for this?
Yes, I am.
Okay. Have you talked to them about David Ivey?
Yes, I have.
You did go to his house?
Yes.
Okay. Did you go there with backpacks?
No, I did not.
You just went to babysit?
I went to babysit on my bike.
On your bike?
Yeah.
Were you in therapy at the time that you went to his
No,
place?
I was not.
And in April when this happened, how many days did this kidnapping?
It went from April 19th all the way to May 12th.
That's a long time.
Yeah. The only time I was able to get out of there was when David was there by himself with me and the 5 kids. I snuck my backpack out the back door.
Okay. I want you to promise me something, that you're going to stay in therapy, that you're going to try to heal yourself, and that you're going to go forward, okay?
I promise you.
All right? All right, good. Thank you. Thank you. David,
Yes, ma'am.
how long did Trelawney stay at your house?
About 14 days.
Why so long?
I honestly don't know.
Did you ask her to? That might be the answer.
Well, part of it, yeah, I asked her if she wanted to hang out and stay, if she wanted to try and have a relationship.
During the 14 days that she was there, did you leave the premises?
3 or 4 times, that was it. Other than that, I stayed home. I didn't go anywhere. She put ads on Craigslist for services.
During this time?
During this time, as a
Do you have
volunteer.
those ads?
No, ma'am, I do not.
Don't you think they'd be relevant to the court?
Yes, ma'am, I do, but she'd already taken them off.
Okay. And during this time, was she dating her now fiance?
No, Your Honor. Actually, she said that she needed to get away from her abusive roommate. He sent me a threatening email like an idiot. I deleted it.
Did you send him an email?
Your Honor, may I interject? for a
Yes,
second?
you may.
There's a series of emails that I sent her. Hey, what's up when you're coming home? At this point, because they pushed her off her email box, once you're signed in for 2 weeks. They pushed her off. They then impersonated her. I can show you 4 emails where he impersonated and talked with me.
That's a lie. I never accessed her email. Those letters, those emails that he received were during a time that she asked me and my friend Stacy to take her to the courthouse to get a restraining order and a
Sunday,
stalking
May
order
3rd, Your
against
Honor.
him.
3rd, Your
Did you
Honor.
take her?
Yes, I took her to the courthouse willingly.
Did she get the restraining order?
Yes, she did, and he
Where
got
is
one
it?
against her. I have no idea. That's between
Did
us.
you get a restraining order against him?
Yes, I got a stalking order against him.
What's the date of the stalking order?
The date of the stalking order was on the 7th of May.
Please be seated. Trelawney,
Yes.
tell me about this burglary.
The burglary happened after I got the stalking and we got the mutual stalking and restraining orders. The judge said that I could have a friend of David's go over and pick up a bag of my clothing. During that time, they went in, got the one bag of clothes, then they decided to park off the side of the street and waited for Tom to leave. During that time, they went in, took a laptop computer, all of my clothing, all of my baby pictures. This is my youngest son and a partial picture of my oldest son that was ripped up that we found in the dumpster. all of my certificates, my diploma, my birth certificate, to implement me.
And you think he did this?
I know he did this.
Why would he do it?
I don't know, just to hurt me, so that
Why does he want to hurt you?
I don't know.
Your Honor, she came to the house under her own free will. I never raped her.
But you've never given me an email saying how you contacted her to come over to babysit.
The emails that I gave you were the ones that we talked about, the one from Yahoo and the one from MySpace, not the I am text.
Find a way to get away for a few days, but can't. I need you so bad. Maybe I can take my bike later. Okay, I've had enough.
That was from her to me.
I've had enough. I've had enough. I've had enough. The issue is whether or not the defendant is liable to the plaintiff for conversion and whether the plaintiff is liable to the defendant for defamation. You're saying that she's defamed your name and she has caused emotional harm. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. This is one of the most bizarre cases I have ever handled. And I'm not being funny because I think that what we're dealing with is something that's extremely sad. I'm dealing with a plaintiff who has a lot of issues relating to her past. I've dealt with victims and survivors for 30 years. But I'm also dealing with facts today. And the facts are very simple. You are emailing this man that you are accusing of kidnapping you and telling him on April 16th that maybe I can get away for a few days, I need you, maybe I can ride my bike later. In the meantime, you're telling me that he's kidnapped you, but you're responding to this kidnapping by emailing your supposed fiance.
April 19th is when he kept me.
But you lied to me.
No, I did not lie.
Let me tell you when you lied to me. I asked you if you took backpacks with you.
And I said no, and I didn't.
You told me back there that you snuck your backpack out the back window.
That's the backpack that I got after the restraining order.
I delivered those things to her later, and they can email say, I'll bring you your stuff.
I'm not saying for 1 second that there aren't scenarios where a woman believes that she's being kidnapped, but if she is savvy enough to go to court during the course of the kidnapping and get a stalking order against you, she's savvy enough to get her butt out of the house.
You're absolutely correct, Your Honor. But
I
may I
was
submit?
threatened.
Hogwash. If you're in a courthouse, you're as free as anybody to do and get whatever you want. If you're in the middle of being kidnapped and raped and everything else, and you can go to a courthouse and get yourself an order against him, who's your supposed fiance, then you can get your tail out of his house. I don't mean to raise my voice. I feel for you. I think that you do suffer from post-traumatic stress syndrome. But I think having said that, you have an obligation to be extremely cautious about who you accuse. But what I'm dealing with right now are facts that I absolutely cannot corroborate, that don't make sense to me. Everything, and I want to believe you, but everything is working against you. My orders for the defendant.
I believe David lied because he thinks that he can overrule anybody that he gets his hands on.
She was either trying to get money out of me some way or another. She's making up false accusations. She sent the cops to my house and child welfare to my house.